next panel discussion is on the topic, the changing face of marketing with the evolution of retail to enhance the customer experience in digital age. And the moderator for the session will be Dr. H.C. Dheeraj Dogra, MRICS, Chief Business Development Officer, Village Group. Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you're having a good time, and there's a lot of learning. The session before, I saw so many stalwarts sharing. Anyway, so the topic I've been asked to moderate is basically how do we utilize technology in terms of marketing, and keeping into perspective that we are talking about shopping centers. So it's a very, I'll say very unique topic, because you're dealing with marketing, you're dealing with technology, and you're dealing with only shopping centers. So a combination of this is very, it's a very evolving. If you look at across yourself, or if you go shop in the shopping malls, you'd notice whether if they're using beacons to send you messages, or they're using proximity technologies to understand their customer, or other various counting technologies and various other things. So technology is definitely an enabler, and how to use it in terms of marketing is what we are here all about. We've got stalwarts. We've got people from both the tech side. We've also got people from the shopping mall side and also from the brand side. And all of them come with a huge amount of expertise and experience in their respective trades. I'll start the discussion, and just to mention to you, I would like it to be a very interactive discussion. And if there is any question, even if you don't have to wait till the last minute, you can raise up your hand if it's a question which needs to be addressed then and there. I'm pretty much okay. We can do it, because then if we wait all the way till the end, then you sometimes lose the momentum, so as to say. So feel free if you find something that you want to know or ask. Starting with this, let's look at I'll start the topic with the marketing journey of a consumer with respect to a shopping mall, and how I'll touch upon social media first of all, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or any of the other social medias that we use. How is that changing a customer's attitude? How is it affecting their, and in terms of touch points? That's what my first question will be. And please feel free, any one of you, to start.
Good evening, everyone. A quintessential question. I'm audible to everybody. Yeah. This is not Zoom, but still I thought I'll ask. So good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity to be here amongst all of you and the esteemed panel. When I talk about and think about marketing of a shopping mall or marketing in general, I remember when I started working, at that point of time, my boss would tell me that marketing has to be like that Vodafone pug. I don't know how many of you remember that commercial. Follow everywhere where the customer goes and be there. But today it's not just about following, especially even when we talk about a shopping mall. It's about engaging, like you mentioned about social media. It's about really creating those experiences, and it is about really entertaining the shopper who comes to our mall. At our Select Citywalk mall, and I think for malls in general, I would say that marketing today rests apart from traditional media, even apart from, I would say, from a social media angle, rests on two planks. one being of insights. And though it's difficult for us because we are a brick and mortar establishment, it's difficult to be able to capture everything, but it's great to look at all touch points and try and see at the parking, at the washrooms, amongst the services, how the customer is interacting when he's in a coffee shop, and try and use those insights from a data perspective to come to a conclusion of how to create a more greater experience for the customer. The second thing I would like to add is about centralization. And I think that everybody in the mall is a part of a marketing team. So whether we are living in a digital age, whether we are still trying to migrate from the digital age, it's very important that everybody becomes a part of the marketing element, not just limited to communication, not just limited to taking out advertising, but really from the perspective of knowing the customer, understanding what he or she wants, and then serving them better. That's what I wanted to add as an introductory piece.
Yeah. So Naveen Joshua could not come in. I am Sudhir. I'm representing GreenHonchos. We basically take care of the e-commerce mandate. And I would like to be very relevant to how shopping malls are looking at. See, the way I see this is, today you take an Amazon, and Amazon is an Amazon because it's an aggregator, right? There could not be a perfect example of an aggregator other than a mall. Because right from my stationery needs to my, to what I want in my lifestyle, pet care, everything is available in a mall. So what we have seen, honestly, the trend is moving towards content to commerce. What brands are communicating is something which the customers are getting connected to. There is a lot of followership. Now, now we are actually working with quite a few malls in very advanced stages wherein they want to step forward and create that experience. Pandemic is probably just a scenario, a use case that just made us things fast forward by 2x. But probably, no brand would ever want to lose a customer, which means a mall which has got the information of people coming in and all AR, VR, AI, which is getting used. Why should a mall not stay connected? Because honestly, the mad rush of 10 minutes delivery, 2 hours delivery, I think brands, what they are saying is you either walk into my store, because no one can beat an offline in terms of experiencing the product. However, when it comes to ease, if my son has a sports day, missing a white shoe, and he tells me that, a day before I need my sports shoe, I should look up to my store because I know the store manager. I know, this particular style is available. I know the size also. So it is constantly malls also adopting to technology, and that followership being there, wherein the brand followership, the loyalty, the communication is all getting integrated. Because there was a recent study that was done by Retailers Association of India, and what it could conclude is 74% of the customer base that they touched, they unanimously are opting for Unicommerce. So I feel, online, offline, I think it's time to collaborate, because offline is challenging and online in terms of raising the bar higher. And so is, the value coming in from both sides.
Actually, interesting point, Sudhir. Also, what is now happening is this entire influencer fraternity. Okay, lot of marketing strategy is also being hinged with this entire influencer commerce. Be it for a brand, and I can also speak for a lot of mall where we do collaborative activities. There are so many malls where we do, where I get into a movie, then I take movie to the mall, and then we do a collaborative activity across. So this has actually seen a complete redux. And when I say redux, it's not, so previously a mall, a Saturday atrium activity was for engagement. But
Right.
now that Saturday atrium activity is no more for engagement, it is for experience. It is to give him that, that experiential bubble, which he would not get it in any other place, which is what there is a transition. And that's where I feel that this entire influencer mentality, social commerce, that is also crept in. And malls are now seamlessly mapping themselves and their activities, their strategy around it, which is a wonderful thing for brands too. So this I think has actually changed in the last 1.5 years.
In fact, earlier malls were purely doing events, a lot of events, right? The calendar used to be full of events. Post-pandemic, it's changed to doing a lot of programs. It's now become from loyalty to really having community programs, really engaging with the audience. We run loyalty program across all our centers, right? We have a detailed understanding of what customers who are coming in, who are not coming in. What we also do is, and I think he spoke about Amazon being the aggregator. We have moved hardcore into data, right? Earlier, we didn't have much of data. We had data, was only used for emailers and SMS. Now we're using the Pareto principle where we are saying that let's focus on the 20% audience who's giving us the top spends. We are curating experiences for them. So a lot has changed actually, and for the good, I think.
Yeah. So, I'll come more from a brand perspective here. So as a brand, what I look at is I have a product and I have a customer, and I have to bring them together. I can bring them together through a mall where I have a EBO. I can bring them together through my MBOs, to my LFSs, and which are the offline channels, as well as my online, which is called as e-com, which is there. And what has happened, that's one way of connecting both of them. And what is happening at a customer end is, because of the time paucity that they have, customer of today wants ease and he wants seamlessness anywhere. So all the e-commerce that Sudhir keeps on doing, what Sudhir tries to do is minimum clicks how a customer can engage with me and check out. Because he wants to save time and he wants ease of purchase. That's what he was talking about. Similarly, when I go to my EBO stores, I try to do the same thing, how I give the experience and the ease along with it. So when it comes to the mall, I think so, mall have also evolved that way, where they are trying to engage the customer at various levels. For a customer to find a product within the mall has become much more, so the zoning that you guys keep on doing, all the direction that you keep on giving, all the walkways, pathways that you guys keep on creating, it helps a customer identify a product much easier in the store. And also, when you add an omni-commerce or omni-channel angle to it, it gives a very different experience. So I think so malls have also come a long way in the last 5 to 10 years of adopting these things. And as you rightly said, looking at the data and analyzing where it comes from. So I think so we are all moving in the right direction when it comes to collaboration between brand and the malls and making it much more easier for the customers.
Also, just to add to what he just simply said, and a very similar thing what Amazon does. I'm sorry, I'm looking at you for this. We're able to understand the lookalike customers. So if somebody who's shopping at American Eagle would know if he's going to be at Being Human, we do guest-listed activities which are just catered to them, right? Because and as I said, these are no more mass events that we used to do earlier. It's become very, very segmented. And yeah, I mean, that's what we are doing now.
In fact, just one point of conjunction here. In Bombay, Bombay was little tad slow for us for revival. So we had done a survey amongst I think around 350 odd audiences in Bombay in malls to understand the motivation to come to mall, because there was a point in time where the food courts were mapped, but people still came to mall but were not entering the food court because they felt that food court पे बैठेंगे तो हमको COVID हो जाएगा. So to counter that, we were trying to understand what is the motivation which is bringing them out of their home to come to the mall. So two things that stood out. Number one, the overpressurized work from home made them feel that we are entitled to this, revenge shopping or whatever we are now calling it. But entitlement of, no, I want to go out of the home and spend this 6 hours outside. This is one. Number two, what we also realize is, therefore, even in malls, they are looking for content. They're not only looking for commerce, which means when they are coming to mall, when they are looking at a particular thing, they are posting that on social media and talking about, oh, this is the thing which I saw on the mall. Even to an extent, Co-Colors, which is very known friend of ours, they are doing far better in terms of post-COVID recovery in the malls than what they were doing before. So this basically shows that even purchase has become a content in their life, no more just a commerce.
I'm going to interrupt for 1 second. Are we here for an experience? All the audience here, are we looking for an experience? Like we look for an experience in a shopping mall? Are we looking for an experience or a memorable experience? Something that stays in your memory. So for that, please be interactive and please raise your hand, ask a question, whatever. The panel should not be just discussing amongst themselves. So, put the energy in there. Now, coming directly to the malls. Now, malls as an experience is one thing. How can you make that experience a memorable experience that you can take home, that you will remember? Okay? Like, for example, when you get into a mall, the first thing people think is you want that wow feel. Am I right? Now, that's the experience part of it. Now, I'll give you another example from the time and age I come in. Going to a 5-star hotel was a big luxury, and we probably only went when there was some marriage in the family or something. And I still recall that. The moment I got into the hotel, when the doorman opened the door, the cool breeze of air, that was something that I identified with. I was like, wow. Okay, because we were not used to air conditioning. So that is what stays in your memory. Now, I would like to ask the panel here, what is that in shopping malls? That experience, that will make your customer remember, okay, stays in their memory.
So, if I may, what we've done to this question that Doctor just asked was, we've curated something which the airport does very phenomenally well. I don't know any of you guys know how the meet and greet program works at the airport, right? It is a very specialized, privileged service. We are trying to give that same to that 20% customers who are coming in and who are top spenders. Beyond that, we're also curating experiences. Just to give an example, Valentine's. Typically what we would do a decor and we would just sort of leave it at that maybe. What we did this time was we looked at the various avenues in from where we can, and we made a package actually. So a couple can actually come in, there would be a meet and greet that would happen, they would be taken to a theater, post which lunch, we had an Eiffel Tower, which was a decor. So they could take pictures there, from there they could go to the laughter store, and they were again taken back by the car that we were actually provided. So we did those memorable experiences which we curated actually for our customers, and it did phenomenally well, I think, for us. It was the beginning at the Valentine's. And I think, as I said, this is the beginning. We'll be curating a lot more packages and customized offerings to the segmentation that we'll be doing for our database.
So just to add to what Prasad is saying, I wanted to demarcate of what we have done with Select Citywalk, and going to divide this into two set of customers. One, those who come to the mall, and we also have a second set of customers, which I'm going to address first, are those who are not shopping with us by coming to the mall, but are sort of what we call our online delivery customers. So during the time of COVID, literally overnight, this I'm talking about 2020, when the retail stores began to open in the month of June, literally in a period of about a week to 10 days, the whole team decided that they're going to start this whole delivery service. Why can't we give seamless delivery to the customers of those who are fearful about coming to the mall? literally over a period of, like I said, 2 weeks, the entire marketing team became like a customer service. We had to interact with the WhatsApp business teams. We had to try and see where all we can inject bit.ly links and try and evolve that whole process. Over this last 2 years, this delivery service, which used to kind of reach out to maybe about 50 customers a month to begin with, has reached to a database of about 2,20,000 odd loyal customers who may not come to the mall directly, but are customers. And from a delivery period in terms of enabling like a same-day delivery, we are today to a 4-hour delivery across a kilometer radius of 15 odd kilometers in Delhi. This entire exercise of a month just to pay for this whole delivery system, courier service, so to call, to try and do the seamless service of payments with the retailer, cost us close to about, in exact figures, about 4.5 lakhs, which is like a Delhi South edition, Delhi Times ad that I take. But all of these serviced customers are actually loyal customers of Select Citywalk. These are customers where I know which month, which Charles & Keith bag was bought, what color did she buy it, which lipstick did she buy with that. And this kind of data is actually absolutely like memorable. It's like what we say treasure tower for us in a way. And I think that for these customers, we have ensured that every time that there is a promotion, what extra can we do to engage them and to create that experience. And I think that that has paid us phenomenally well. Coming to the set of people who come to the mall, and I think through the COVID, after the recovery, we've seen step by step the footfall build up. I think the first assurance that was needed in terms of experience was that it's a safe mall to come. It's a fully vaccinated mall. There is no problem here. If you want a seamless parking, you will get that. If you want to ensure that there's a contactless delivery that happens at the mall, that will also happen. So in addition to what Prasad was saying, which are also, I feel, hygiene factors for us in terms of decor, in terms of promotions, what extra is required to make that fulfillment of an experience is how easy can you make, like, to tell the customer that in Decathlon, you don't have to talk to anybody. You can just simply go and you can just yourself check yourself out. And I think this is what makes the difference to the customer today.
And, you know, this can be an extension because, you know, the concept which was very prominent in the West is brand loyalty, right? Wherein I engage with the brand once and then I continue to engage because there is someone from the brand side who's constantly updating me. You know, what we usually tell the brands is when you are looking at your social media communication, follow the rule of thirds. Only keep 1/3 of your communication with regards to your products. Remaining 2/3, only talk about, even if you're doing something at the stores, if you have launched a new store, if you're taking new initiatives, even if you want to communicate the brand's storyline. Please, you know, I was speaking in a session where there is a deep story behind woman personal care hygiene. Now their USP is it's a made in India product, made by women, delivered by women, and conceptualized within India. And what they use is all biodegradable products. So how they are launching themselves as a brand is they're communicating every smaller aspect directly and indirectly related to the brand. And I think that's the approach because in terms of content to communicate from the mall to the customer, there are multiple facets. You're doing CSR. You're doing, you know, a lot of initiatives which are to support the ecosystem. I heard in some of the previous discussions wherein you conserve water, you are reusing water, you're, you know, probably conserving the rainwater to make sure that, you know, in some of the patches in India where water is a scarcity and mall has a ultimate usage of water, is saving water. I think it's all about how we are engaging with the customers, what are we communicating so that they feel more than one reason to come back because they know there are multiple causes beyond just a sale.
Yeah, I think I'm sure there are a lot of millennials here But the Gen Z is the right audience who's seeking for these causes. Yeah. They need a voice. They need a platform. They identify very easily with any center, whether that's water conservation, whether that's women's rights, and we are playing with those communities and engaging with them on a regular basis, right? Because Gen Z needs that. They don't need any messages on upfront on their face. You need to be as subtle as you get. Also, just another point that I think both of them raised was we're also creating a lot of ecosystem within the shopping centers, right? As much as what Gitanjali said on WhatsApp shopping, we all have, I think most of the centers have turned around and have tried to format that during the COVID period. What we realize is, yes, the customer is coming in through a platform. It's moving to the retailer. He's buying. We're able to map it. We are now creating an ecosystem where the customer can actually earn points and burn points within the ecosystem, which is the loyalty, right? Just not vouchers anymore, but...
you mean it. What you're offering is what you mean.
Yes.
They can actually realize it.
Yes, and that's important now. You cannot be just fooling the customer anymore because they're far evolved than we can ever think they are.
You know, very interesting, but one point which Sudhir had mentioned, purpose has taken center stage across brand communication. We've been talking about it for longest time now, brand purpose, but now I think it is coming to life. Every single brand. So, for example, very minuscule example, we had done a campaign around bowls, the Chinese bowls of ours, and the entire campaign was around Ab India Bolega. And you won't believe what we did was we took this concept of open mic across all the atriums, across around 25 odd malls, and it was a super hit because the kids today, the millennials today, they feel, okay, this is the brand that is talking about freedom of speech. I'm going to buy into that. So people don't buy you anymore. People buy into you, which is what has changed. And therefore, most of us, what we are talking about, right from a loyalty to CRM to vouchers to post gratification, pre gratification, is all revolving around that single purpose of the brand.
See, while we are talking about this, what I really wanted to know was the difference of an experience and how we do and what we do to make it into that it goes in your memory. So from a physical sense, okay, going to your heart, a memorable experience that you will tend to remember, and how do we use technology to do that? I would like to know. I'll give you an example, okay? I don't know if this has been practiced anywhere, but I'll just give you an example. If I have a mall app, I go into the mall. The mall is using Wi-Fi and Bluetooth beacons and proximity technology. It happens to be my birthday. The moment I enter the mall, okay, the people who are managing the mall, they immediately get to know that Mr. So-and-so is here and it's his birthday today. Imagine an announcement on the mall that please come down to the concierge. We want to, wish you a happy birthday. Now that's a memory. So using technology, that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to find out is how do you touch hearts using technology? So that is what my intention was when I asked this question. So that it etches in your, it stays with you. It doesn't finish at that moment. That's, if you can give me an example.
I would just try to, explain what we were trying to say. Today, it's no more about that one single delight for the consumer. It's about, for a mall or for any brand, I think today it's about what is the brand overall trying to arch at. What is the brand stand for? So we are no more brand. I think we are stands. So that's what is now consumers are buying more into. And therefore, because consumer 5 years, 10 years before came with a sense of trust. Today, consumer come with a sense of doubt. Anyone. The moment you try to say that, okay, hi, Mr. Krishnan, today is your birthday, we're going to celebrate, humko laga chuna lagane wala hai. So that's where the consumer mindset has changed. It's no more, I'm not in love with you, but I believe in you. That's the difference. We were talking about brand love, possibly at one point in time. when Saatchi and Saatchi came with the entire brand love model at one point in time. But today we are talking about, boy, let's get back the trust. So that's where I think marketers are stuck saying that yaar kahan tak jaun, kitna jaun.
No, I think very true. And Doctor, just to add to what you just simply said, well, the technology is getting developed. It's getting integrated in the shopping center slowly. I think there are other things that we are doing as well is to know the customer better. We are going out and doing a tie-up with MyGate and the Park Pluses of the catchment to understand where is the customer coming in from really. And these kind of tie-ups really help. And this tech we cannot build on our own. We need partners to collaborate to do those. And never before, and I really mean this, never before the CTO was more important to the CMO ever than now.
Also,
So,
Kunal wanted to say something.
just to add to this thing, bring it close to you. Hello? Yeah, sorry. So just adding on to what Murali was saying, I think so we are talking about creating that, what he rightly said was, creating special moments is no more the outstanding factor, Every customer thinks that he needs basic bare minimum things to come into place. And then if special moment comes in, they come in. It's part. But bare minimum thing has to be there. So when it comes specifically to mall, and since we're at the mall, this thing, again, I keep on coming back to this thing is a customer needs a very ease of these things, and he does not need problems to come into these things. So in fact, if something bad happens, that stays with customer for a longer time than any good memory that you create. So the easiest example that I can give is if somebody is walking to a mall, and if he finds 9 out of 10 times that he's facing problems while parking his car, next time he'll think twice before stepping into a mall. No matter how many birthday cakes you cut for him, it'll always be that I face this problem. So you have to be very specific and get your basics right. Get him a seamless experience. In fact, it should be forgettable experience. It says कि यार कुछ हुआ ही नहीं मेरे साथ. That kind of experience. I think that will get much more stickiness than having a very wow moment for them for once in a.
And I agree with Kunal because I in a way agree with Kunal because even when a customer is transacting online, this is what we tell the brands that do a good job in the post-purchase experience. Bringing in the customer to the platform, making them purchase is a one-time sale. What we tell, and there is a study that's a pretty interesting one, where today, even say for malls or be it brands, when they run their own D2C channels, and they're running, paid ads on, say, Facebook, Instagram and all, and it's a fact. The profit is earned on the third sale. First sale, you spend to actually acquire the customer. Second sale, you only recovered the money that was spent. It's the third sale where you make money. Hence, it is very important. And I can relate to it because I'm an offline customer too. I bought a shoe after 3 months because there was lockdown. The shoe had some problem. I wrote to the customer service. I went back to the brand. The store guy was showing some resistance. I showed the email. No questions asked. The shoe was returned. Now I'm a loyal customer to that brand for a lifetime.
Also, I just wanted to add first to answer your question. I think we are not very far away from you being greeted with a birthday cake. I think we'll reach there soon. There are lots of malls, there are lots of retailers who are trying to figure that out. And I think it will happen seamlessly. The loyalty is going to ensure that. But I feel that this wow moment, which used to be this aha thing that we studied in all Kotler books, today is the foundation of a relationship. Like the seamlessness, the bit. It's something which is like a take-in. You have to deliver that. And I feel that it's a mix of technology, yes, but a lot of touch and feel. Like, I don't think that when you enter a mall, just the fact that there is a guard who says namaste to you, some familiar face who looks at you and says that aap bahut dino ke baad aaye, that itself, makes that aha moment for the customer.
That's very true. The delight actually even comes through these personalized moments.
Which I think an Amazon may not be able to replicate.
No,
I believe, see, what I feel is, I think the customer delight as a one-time activity is a thing of the past. It has to be a constant engagement.
Oh, David Ogilvy once said that consumer is your wife. I think consumer is my girlfriend. I need to go every day.
Yeah.
Totally. You got to be relevant to her all the time. Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's, I think, anybody here, anybody wanted to comment on this? Anybody? No, okay. So, I mean, I'm going to give you another example here, and I like there is somebody here. Okay, please.
Hello. Yeah. My name is Hardik. I'm a techie from Bangalore, and I'm developing a smart marketing platform for malls and retailers. So my question is, if we compare, like I'm hearing a lot about the offline and online connectivity and the physical. I understand the touch and feel part we cannot ever avoid, right? But when we compare the mall's experience with any other similar physical experiences like cab, flights, hotels, or restaurants, right? All of them have the aggregators long back, like 10 years back. If you want to book flights, you don't go to the Indigo, you go to the McMytree. Hotels, same. Food, Zomato, right? But why the malls and the retailers don't have any marketing aggregator yet? You guys have the maximum money, right? Then app, like promotions, creating promotions and reaching out to the customer via just GPS app, it's like 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees. Why everybody is developing their own app? Why there is not a single aggregator there?
Right? What's your name again?
My name is Hardik.
Okay, Hardik, I think you should speak to us because we as GreenHonchos have our proprietary tech platform called KartmaX, where we have solved this problem statement. And, probably the next summit will be presenting how malls have actually, taken a step ahead and how they are enriching the whole experience. And because now they have a control over who's coming in and what are they engaging with, they will go to the next level in terms of, making that wow experience. So I think that those initiatives have been taken, but I think, yes, it took a while because I know the practical challenges which I can't share over the podium here,
Right.
because they have their own reasons to be able to, get onto one platform.
Correct. No, so my point is in the whole customer journey, except touching the thing, right? Searching, getting the discounts, payments, all of these are solved years back. Today, if my wife has to buy Nike shoes, we first go and check on Myntra because I know that Nike showroom nearby, what are the promotions running, they are not available in single one app. I'm not going to install Nike app, right?
Can I answer this question?
Yes. Please.
Yes, sir.
As we speak, you gave me an example, just you said Nike. There is a store in New York City, in Soho district, where Nike store, where they've set up simulators, where you can try that particular Nike if you are into any particular sports, let's say basketball, or you're an athlete. You can actually wear it and actually play in simulation, in virtual reality, and feel how it feels. Okay, so there are, I mean, that's the sense of technology. Okay, so wait, if you were to buy a Nike, they have 1,001 different combinations of meant for different sports, whether it's for cross training or whether it's for, so unless you go and try it. Now the technology part, which I just mentioned about the one in Soho in New York, that is where that's the added brownie in it, that you can actually go and think you're playing basketball, you're actually running, there's a small court, okay, and you can feel as a sportsman how it feels if I was to jump, and when I land, how much pressure it will have on my feet, what kind of cushioning I want. So I think that is the key, the combination of technology, okay, and comfort and actually touching, feeling it. That's the combination we have to get. Am I right?
Actually, I think what Hardik is trying to say, Hardik, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we are over-intellectualizing your question. Yeah. Your question is, was restaurant agar 5 saal pehle, 2018 mein, if it started delivering, why didn't mall start delivering that, right?
Yeah, no, my point is ki AR, VR, all is the like very far end of the technology.
Yeah.
Right?
We are not talking about AR, VR.
I'm saying basic promotions. the Indian customer mindset, where I'm getting the maximum discount, that also I am not reaching out. Like I should be knowing in this big mall, if I go to the Phoenix Market City, Bangalore, it is such a huge mall. I don't know how many discounts are running in which stores, right? At least one app which tells me 10 malls, where are the stores, what are the
But
deals
you have social media for that. You have the loyalty app of the mall, and you have so many other touch points for the mall. Maybe see, I'll tell you, to compare a group of consortium of restaurants to a mall might not be a right way to look at it. Why I will tell you, because everything is point of transaction. We live in a business world, we live in a transaction world, right? To the point of transaction is that spoon of food that goes inside your mouth, the morsel of food that goes inside your mouth. That's the point of transaction. That can happen anywhere. But for a mall or for a shopping center, the point of transaction happens there. And historically, or say, if you look at the history of why mall, where mall, the call of mall, there's a famous book, it talks about how the mall, the culture, started with a congregation. It's a potpourri where your family comes in, you come in, there's friends, there's time. Therefore, I think that is a slight difference. You will not be able to equate a business to that. Say, for example, you spoke about airlines, right? Airlines do have a Make My Trip. Indigo has an app also, right? So you go to Indigo app, you figure out how Indigo is performing, which is the rate.
Okay, yeah, excuse me. You
Can
know,
I just add? Sorry.
we have very little time left, so we...
But Hardik, I just wanted to share that, of course, all malls may not have it right now, but the entire process of apps has already started. There are mall apps which are existing, which have a full, plethora of offers, discounts, and promotions already. I mean, it's already happened. So it may not be with every mall, but it is existing with at least some chunk of malls now.
Correct. So now my point was...
Excuse me.
Yes,
I'm so sorry. Sorry to cut you short there. I know we can do, because the session is almost, our time is up. I wanted to do one more question before the session. It's just, we can talk offline. What I would like to know is from people here, one, retailers. There are one or two retailers, there's a technology person, and also from a mall developer side. How do you combine your energies? I mean, I'm talking about from a retailer. How do you, with the mall developer and using technology, can we do some things together? Are we doing something together to make, as far as the customer is concerned, make a happy customer?
Okay.
Together.
Together.
It has to be together, okay?
It has to be with the brand, start with the brand. But yeah, so I think the way world is moving right now, it's going to be a collaboration work always. I'm good at product, and he's good at technology. So I partner with Ram to say, give me the best technology to get it out. Similar, these things is, I'm good at product, but you guys are better at getting the customer to the mall. So I partner with you guys to get this thing. That's why a lot of collaborations are already on the way, and technological these things are happening. And I think that's the way it's going to be going forward. You partner with the best in the industry to give the best service to the customer.
In fact, just across all the malls where we work, or most of the malls we work, we have worked only in a very collaborative manner. In fact, first wave, when we came out of the first wave, we ran a campaign called Bounce Back, and that entire campaign of Bounce Back, the singular message landed was the nearest mall, if we're talking about, or we're talking about the nearest store. It's all about getting people out of the home. That is what we were talking about. We were not talking about come by us. We were talking about come out of home. That was more important. So reassurance of that safety, come out of home, reassurance of hygiene, come out of home. That's what we drove. And I think it's going to be, and actually it has made us closer to the mall marketing team across the country.
So, of course, it is a collaborative effort, and I think the most important thing that we do from a mall perspective with retailers, I think some of our best friends where retailers are concerned, is to follow like this 3-2-1 rule, which is like with every brand, first thing is to know 3 things about that brand. The marketing teams also have like more than 200, 250, so it becomes difficult. But 3 things that are important to that brand. What is the differentiating point? What is it that they want to sell in terms of the objective, who are the influencers that will do well, what is the target. So if we can like round up to 3 things that is important to that brand. Second, I think from a marketing communication perspective is to be on at least 2 platforms in terms of promoting that brand, whether it is offline or online. I think to make this entire as a seamless collaborative effort. And the one point is to at least try and get 1 Google review, which is about that brand and the mall that we are representing. I think that's what will put this entire effort together.
I think she said 1, 2, 3. We got 4, 3 to 1. We got segmentation, targeting, positioning, and differentiation. These are the 4 pillars for us that we've recently formed, and we're keeping those very clearly aligned to the retailers. And that's why I gave you the examples of the lookalike customers moving to this segment. And so there is a fair amount of collaboration, Doctor, as we speak.
Wonderful. I just wanted to know. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I'll just add with one last line. We work with brands, we work with malls, so we understand the ground level challenges and the pain points. And you know, we as a technology enabler, what we always believe, and that's what we practice in, is we never believe malls or brands to fit into a technology. A technology is always an enabler. They should solve problem statements. And that's what we, you know, as KartmaX, which is our tech, GreenHonchos is the parent company, tries to do, wherein end of the day, we are serving a customer. And if the brand and the mall and the person behind the tech feels, you know, what is required for the customer and takes those right steps, I think everyone is meeting a common goal, which is the customer delight, and that's what we are here for.
Any questions? Going 1? Anybody? Going 2? No questions. Wonderful. Going 3. All right. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You were a great audience, and I hope there was some gyan learning here. Kuch gyan diya, kuch liya. So I hope it was a good, not as much as I'd love to, but still, I think a reasonably good session ho gaya hamara. Thank you so much. Thank you, panelists, and thank you all.